Greetings, my bombastic turd wobblers. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time because this is a procrastination tool and I have been writing, so more writing means less videos. Now I am back to talk bollocks for a while. I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Yes, it's been a very long time, but I'm back. I want to talk to you about what I'm working on at the moment. So the last video you would have seen, I think, was about ostrich feet. And you might be wondering why I was researching the ostrich feet. Maybe you're not, maybe you weren't, but I'm here to talk about them. No, not here to talk about ostrich feet anymore. We are done talking about ostrich feet. But there's a few writing projects going on at the moment. And there's the reason why I haven't been making videos, because much typing has been happening. The screenplay that I have been working on is finished. It was sent off to a fabulous writer, movie maker, podcaster, novelist, Mark Stay, who gave me some excellent feedback, and I've been reworking that screenplay, and it's very good now. So I'm in the process of sending that out to film agents. And this ostrich-related project. Now, my first two books back in 2010 were comedies, and then I didn't release anything for a long time, and I was just learning the writing. And then I wrote a full-length horror novel, which lots of people seem to like, and I have not published it yet. I'm reworking some things on that, but I'm quite proud of that one. It's turned out very well. And then things went a bit sideways. You see, I was in Tesco doing my shopping. If you're not a writer following this, maybe it needs to be said that generally, if you write in horror and you release a book, people will expect your next book to also be a horror. So if you gain a readership and they are eagerly awaiting the next thing that comes from you, and it turns out to be a Western, shouldn't do that. That confuses readerships. So that's what I'm doing. I was in Tesco, and on the charity bookshelf I found this book. This is Riding High by Hank Madison, and I've never read a Western before. I love Western movies, but I bought this and I started reading it and fell in love immediately, and knew that whatever happened I had to write at least one of these, a paperback 1970s Western book, a thin book. I thought I just have to get it out of my system. I have to write one. On at least twice on every page, the main guy, Clell Manning, narrows his cold blue eyes, or thins his lips. And I don't know why I enjoyed it so much. It's not literary. It's very badly written, actually. And I had to write my own one. I had to have one of these that I wrote. And so I had a character sitting around called Robin Castle, who was going to be my Jack Reacher if I ever decided to write a thriller type novel. But I tried a few things with him and it wasn't working. I'm not naturally capable of writing a straight thriller. And then I realised that was because he's a bounty hunter from living in 1865. No, when is my book set?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. In the late 1800s, late 19th century, right at the end of the, the end of the frontier, sort of bounty hunter, lawman, bandits. When that was all coming to an end, is when my book is set. So, I wanted. I haven't planned what I was going to say. I couldn't just go in and start writing a cowboy story, a western. I had to do some research, and I only had one western novel. So I oh, I bought a couple more so that I can do some proper research. I'm going to read these, and then I will have enough clout to successfully write a good western, I think. Now, whoa, they are everywhere now. 39 books. I've started reading this one. This is The Loner by George G. Gilman. Never heard of Edge before as a character. And I started reading this, and it's the most violent and brutal book I've ever read. It's genuinely well written, and it's entertaining as hell, and it's great. So I'm halfway through one cowboy western book. I never thought I would read westerns, but this is what's happening. The first thing I did when I decided to write, because what I really liked was the aesthetic of these books. I love that they're sort of the way they look and the way they feel, and so I wanted to have one that was mine. So the first thing I did was mocked up a cover. I realised that my name, Andrew Chapman, didn't sound very westerny, so I needed a pen name. And so I would like to introduce you to the book cover for my book, Hell's Ridge, written by Elwood Flynn. So, book cover is made. And suddenly, all of these scenes started coming to me, and the whole idea for a story. I realised that Robin Castle was the character, and I thought, oh, but hey, the reason you made Robin Castle so you could, because you think you're funny, have a character that's just a bit taller than Jack Reacher, just a bit wider than Jack Reacher, and so you have this 6'9" massive guy in the Old West. And, you can't just have him on a normal sized horse. So his horse is a Percheron, which, if you don't know what Percheron is, a Percheron is a huge horse. Here is a picture of a Percheron. Big horse. So he's a big guy on a big horse, and he rides into town. And he's a combination of Jack Reacher and Sherlock Holmes. He's a cool sort of dude. So yes, there's the story. I'm halfway through it. It's a novella. It's only going to be about 35,000 words long. It's going to be available in paperback because that's how I want to have it, and it'll be available on Kindle. I'm not going to try and get a publisher. The problem with Western novels is that they hit their peak back in the 70s. That's when Westerns were at their peak popularity, back when Bonanza was on TV, and all the John Wayne was still making movies and Clint Eastwood was making films. Things started to drop off, and they are now in the 2020s. There is such a low appetite for Western novels. There are only currently a handful of bookstores in all of the United States of America that even sell Western novels. There are none in the UK. We've been looking for them. We've been in second-hand bookstores. We've been in normal bookshops. You cannot buy Westerns. They do not exist on bookshelves. So it's not a good time to be entering this genre. I'm muddying the waters of my career as a horror writer and a horror film writer. I guess that's why I'm using Elwood Flynn on the cover instead of my own name. That helps that helps with the confusion. And because they're reasonably easy to write, and they're a lot of fun to write as well, and I think that comes through when you're reading them. With my writing, I'm enjoying it a lot. I remember Stephen King said that he really enjoyed writing Pet Sematary. When you read that, you can feel it when you're reading it. And I'm hoping that will come across in Hell's Ridge when that comes out and you get to read it. And if you're not a Western fan, read it anyway, because it's not like what you're probably imagining. And it's also exactly what you're imagining. So it plays to its tropes, but it's completely its own thing as well. I feel like I started an idea and then trailed off, and now I can't remember what it was. I don't know. But I will continue to make videos and update and talk about how this project is going. I was going to keep things secret and just put it out there and see how it did by itself, but I think it might become a series because they are easy to write and they're fun. And Robin Castle, the main character, is turning out to be a lot of fun to write. So I think it could be a very easy to handle series, short novellas that people could enjoy following. So I'm going to do that alongside continuing to write the horror and the movie scripts. Yes. So that's it. Yes, that's it. The next video that's coming is going to be a review of a movie from 1956. A schlock horror B movie, a black and white film called The Black Sleep, starring Basil Rathbone and Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney Jr. And I'm going to be reviewing some old movies on this channel because I'm writing a movie that's a homage to those old films. For some reason, I like to make things very difficult for myself. So look out for my next video. That's what it's going to be about. For now, tally ho, subscribe, farewell.